Good evening and welcome to episode 9 of Once Upon a Time in the Old World. I am your games master, Jim, and this is my brave and foolhardy group of adventurers.
Hi, sorry, I'm Roger, and I'm definitely paying attention completely and remembering where I am. I'm playing Johan, the human student engineer, and this week I haven't spent any XP.
Hi, I'm Aaron, and I'm playing Hagen Ritter von Delbers, the adventuring knight to the Order of the White Wolf. And I spent a little XP on my weapon skill because I thought that might come in handy this week.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm playing Gerhardt, who is a wizard apprentice. Very, very close to some cool stuff. So I haven't spent any experience, but I'm very close to something cool.
Hey up, by gum, it's Dan playing your favourite Dowie Mordek. And this week I'll be spending my XP on weapon skills so I can better twat my enemies.
Hi, I'm Colin. I'm playing that one. Calvin Wedemaker. Apparently I can't say my own character name tonight. And I have not spent any XP because I'm saving up for stuff.
Hi everyone, I'm Dan, and I'm playing Ilmarin, the soon-to-be-dead elf. I haven't spent any of my XP because I'm about to die, so it's okay.
But he's cheerful about it, which is the important thing.
Okay, so yeah, as I said, we're on episode 9 now, so very close to our 9.5 anniversary. We left it last week.
Jim, you're
with
sounding a
of
bit muffled.
Oh, sorry. Is that better?
Much better.
Much better. There you go. So yeah, we left it last week in the bar of the Red Moon Inn, where a bit of a standoff between the guards, with the guards captain and the group, because they had come to arrest Ilmarin the elf for the grievous murder of an Ulrich priest in the Temple of Ulrich, in which I believe he spread him all around the walls as well. Very nastiness indeed. And also, I believe they were going to pick up the dwarf for smashing a barrel over a landlord's head and crippling him. Very, very bad dwarf as well. So,
He was dishonouring all Dowie everywhere by trying to flog that piss mock as Bugman's best.
it was apparently. He still to this day says it was Bugman, but hey ho, he ended up with a barrel through the head anyway.
If it had been Bugman's, the barrel would have been properly treated and wouldn't have broken on his face.
His face would have still broken, but the barrel wouldn't have broken.
The point taken there. Yeah, probably.
Because
the barrel would have still been in one piece, definitely. So, also to remember, the mighty wizard's apprentice Gerhard has been took away by a gang of ruffians, so they can get to the dwarf for smashing their friend's face in, I believe. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's noticed that I'm not there, though. Others have.
No.
I think he's so fucking pissed he hasn't actually noticed.
Yeah, Mordek was in quite a state. So we shall start again back into the bar, where the guards captain turns to you and says, right, well, we have witnesses, we have evidence, we need to take Ilmarin in, your elf, and we'll take the dwarf with us now as well, because he's been accused of beating 7 shades of brown matter out of the landlord. I forget what the pub was called now, but the landlord down the road anyway. So will you come quietly?
We'll get you a lawyer. Don't worry.
They'll never take us alive, Ilmarin.
Got to
You
dig,
really
haven't
must
you,
have had a
Dan?
lot.
You've got to dig.
Guard Captain Nuala, I am Sir Hagen Ritter von Delbers, a knight of the White Wolf, and I want more than anything to find who is responsible for the murder of my den father. But on my honor as a knight, I can assure you it was not this elf. He says he has an alibi. Would it be possible for perhaps you and some of your troops to go with me and Ilmarin to the Temple of Verena and have the High Priestess of Verena verify his truth so that the true culprit does not escape while they're trying to hide behind this masquerade and point their fingers at my friend? We are in the employ of Lady Notch, and we have been fighting against both the Bretonians and other nebulous evils that are striking at Ubersreik. And I think this is a targeted attempt to reduce our number.
So, good speech, by the way. But you will be given chance to put your case forward, or Ilmarin's case forward, and Mordek's. I have to say the case against Mordek is slightly more watertight. Would that be a good word to use? Than Ilmarin. But we have witnesses and, like I say, evidence against Ilmarin especially. We'll just take them. You have my word that no harm will come to them. We'll take them away. We'll lock them up for the night, and then we'll begin proceedings with them in the morning.
Ilmarin, Mordek, is this acceptable to you? I think it is in all of our best interests. We can.
We'll
best
get
interest.
you a lawyer.
Human lawyer, yes, useful. A human lawyer, probably employed by the humans to look after an elf. That's going to go down very well. Quite frankly, Captain, this is a farce. Speaking of unscrupulous evils, Hagen, where's your aunt?
I don't know. That is another mystery that we have to solve.
Unsurprising. So the den father is dead. Your aunt is missing, who is most likely not actually your aunt, probably in just.
Hold on a sec.
Shut up, Captain. Captain, please. I'm in the middle of talking. It's rude to interrupt people. So let me get this right. Yeah. So your aunt is missing. Probably not your aunt. Probably a shape-shifting demon who's probably shape-shifted and taken an elven dagger of nondescript. Never seen that dagger ever. Also, I am far too intelligent. If I was going to murder someone, I wouldn't leave a dagger lying around that pointed straight to the only elf in town, other than obviously her royal graceness of the elven compound. So quite frankly, this is an absolute farce. And if I go with you, I will never see daylight again.
Johan, you want to help me out here?
Have you finished?
You tell him.
I'll just kind of lean over and whisper to Hagen. I think
Joe.
he's keeping the shovel at the moment.
Right. Now, you're working for Lady Nat, apparently, and yet you have no decent words to say against us humans or our cities or our ways or whatever. As I said before, you will be given every opportunity to defend yourself, in the ways that have been put forward for generations.
We demand trial by combat.
Captain, Mordek here is, as you can see, quite intoxicated.
Okay.
Me and Almarin here. I say, me and Almarin here. We will fight side by side. Me and Almarin here. We'll fight side by side, and we'll do trial by combat.
The fact
Nothing
he's trying
will
to
stand
be
away.
friends
It
with
will
an
be
elf
a
states
glorious battle.
intoxication.
So, Guard Captain, as you can see, we've had a pretty rough couple of days. We just had to fight off a minor demonic incursion, and it's left all of our nerves a bit raw. Clearly my dwarf friend has taken to the cups to try to deal with that. I would pray that Elmarin
It was
would
the only
trust.
way I knew how.
I understand, Mordek. But I would pray that our friend Elmarin would trust in us enough to ensure that he is given a fair trial. I would not forsake my friend.
Well, he seems to be throwing you and your family under the cart, to be fair, in defending himself, blaming all manner of evils and witchery and demoncraft and the like, all on you and your family.
As I said, we've had a very trying couple of days, and I still have faith in Elmarin and in his courage, and I believe him 100%. So I hope that he will give me the chance to prove his innocence.
Ilmarin, where was it you were before coming back to the tavern?
As I already said, I was at the Lady Grace's, Princess Elf and her compound, and I was giving prayer to my gods for a little bit of guidance and, more importantly, the protection of my soul.
I kind of scribble down a note so I can get them as a witness.
What he's basically saying is that he was far better off with them elves than the humans.
God, he must be drunk. Defending an elf. Never thought I'd see it.
Is the short-bearded one going to now speak against humanity as well?
I hope not.
I say now. Listen here. You law lady person.
Guards captain.
That's the one. Gives a big belch. I got nothing against manlings, except those that are corrupt and in the pay of other people.
So was the landlord corrupt and in the pay of other people?
The landlord was a liar and a cheat and a thief.
A liar, a cheat, and a thief.
And I'd like to press charges.
Oh, I think you pressed more than charges into his head anyway.
I demand trial by combat.
Okay, at that point, there is a knock on the door that is open anyway. And standing at the door is that short human person who you're always happy to see, Von Gebel.
Oh, God.
They said they'd get you a lawyer.
I've heard that there's some trouble happening, and you need my services.
Von Gebel, excellent timing.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will not be represented by Von Gebel. Refuse.
For the first time since I met you, Von Gebel, I am truly very happy to see you.
Well, I suggest you have a word with your long-lived friend over there. Yeah. But yes, I'm here for your best interests. Moron? Il something anyway.
Kind of whisper Ilmarin into his ear.
Oh yeah, Ilmarin, sorry. And of course Mordok, the mighty Mordek. That's it. Guards captain, if we could, maybe we could sit down around the table a little. I know Lady Act would be very happy to do that. No. Sorry about that.
Jim.
Yes.
The guy we were
questioning,
asking very polite questions of when the guards walked in. What's he doing in all of this? Is he still present, or is he scarpered out the door already?
So you did notice him sort of edge his way round the inn, and he's currently sitting at the table nearest the door, and he seems to be looking around quite sheepishly. almost looking. You've seen this look a million times. In fact, you've probably done this look yourself. A lot of times. He's looking for the opportunity to run like a bastard.
Great. He hasn't actually taken it yet. I am going to go and stand next to him and just place a hand on his shoulder. I don't want him going anywhere.
He looks up at you and sort of smiles a nervous smile.
I don't want him going anywhere, but seeing as the guards are not paying too much attention to me because I haven't been, framed or actively committing assault yet.
Guards Captain, I come to speak of something that is of great importance and could be of great interest of you. And it's probably wise that we don't let any sort of outsiders, anybody who isn't in the group that sort of it's intended for,
how about Hagen? Would it make sense for you and I to accompany this gentleman to go and find his friends, make sure he gets back safely, referring to the man she's got a hand on his shoulder, while these people discuss business? I'm sure they can fill us in when we get back.
With Von Gebel and the guard captain's leave, I think that's an excellent idea, Caroline.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, but be careful.
Absolutely. And after all, we do need to get Gerhard since he is part of this discussion. So
exactly.
I've got a small retinue outside. Well, actually, I call it a retinue. It's actually 2 soldiers. They could happily go with you if you need a little bit of backup or anything.
That would be perfect.
Okay. Yeah. They carry the seal of the Lady Actor as well. So if you need to get into anywhere, then
would you rather I stayed, Von Gebel, or can you cover this?
It would be wise. It would be.
Okay, I'll stay.
Yeah.
Aren't we missing someone?
Mordek, that's we're gonna go get Gerhard right now. You just relax and have some fish stew or fish and potato stew.
The guards captain orders 4 guards that were actually in the bar to stand outside, and she shuts the door behind them, and then she comes and pulls a chair up at the largest of the tables downstairs. The table that normally has the fish and potato stew on it. Or had that lovely breakfast there this morning that isn't there anymore.
Hey, Marin, gone. We can take him.
Yeah, Mordek, go down.
That also blocks your microphone.
Not yet, Mordek, settle down.
So she sort of leans forward and says, "Well, I'm listening." And Gil says, "Right, well, so what I am to say now is to go no further. So could we get some hot brew for the dwarf? I mean, he seems very liquid occupied, shall we say. Could really do with him straightened out, so to speak." And Franz, we'll get that. Yes. So, gentlemen, it appears that I haven't been completely honest with you all along. Yes. So, my name.
Your mind genuinely laughs.
My name is Von Gebel, and I have had some training in being a lawyer, and I was qualified in that field of professions. But well, a change of circumstances came my way, and I was forced into another career, and that was the career of hunting down chaos and the like. And I'm here in Ubersreik to make sure that chaos does not find its way into the everyday life of the people here, shall we say. We've been watching you for a while. We were part of the jobs that you were sent on. You do notice that his voice is going calm now, and he seems to have lost the stupid stutter. You were tested, not tested in a bad way, but we knew there were things that needed to be done, so we threw you and your group in at it. Now, we have got a few problems in Ubersreik. So I believe you had a close encounter with a huge problem that we've had, and that was a cult of one of the gods. I shan't mention its name. I won't give it pleasure of that. Now, we believe that this cult was brought into play by the Jungfreuds, who used to rule this city. Do you, any of you know this family?
Know the name.
Yeah, well, obviously the Emperor, for whatever reason, saw fit to send a garrison down here and take over things for himself. Now, whether he found out this, I don't know. I'm not a party to that information. But I was sent down here with basics, one of which was that this was a cult of significant threat. Now, it seems like we thought we'd dealt with it, but it seems to have been fired up by someone or something quite recently. You were a party to it. I know that certain races have an innate ability of being fixated by this creature and its masters. And he looks over at Elmarin. Now, with this creature coming back into play, we have a large problem. It has made a play for the Lady Nat's life before, and also we've recently stopped an assassination attempt on her that we haven't let the news out of this, where the assassin, when he was put down, was raised as some form of undead that couldn't be put down for a while. Luckily, I carry a dagger that was able to arm it. But yeah, well, we have two significant threats to the lady's life. Now, you were sent down here by powers that wasn't me to look after the lady. And I believe that it's time for you to be called in for that favor now, big time. She needs to leave Ubersreik, and she needs to leave soon, within the next week. Now, I'll provide, well, me and my friends will provide you with ways and means. I will send some of my allies with you, but you cannot tell me where you're going. You cannot tell me how you intend to get her there, and you can't tell me anything about it, because this thing, if it comes for me and I'm not strong enough to deal with it, I don't want to get the information out about where the lady is. I don't know why it seeks the lady so badly. It could be because of her friendship with the Emperor himself, or of what she knows, or something along those lines. I've not spoken to her directly about it. but she does not know of our plans. It will be treated as such as a kidnapping. Now, the guards captain here is a very trustworthy person. She will be traveling with you. And
I feel safer already.
And two of my most trusted men, Franz and his chef, they'll be coming with you as well.
Oh, as long as they don't bring
Okay. The lady will think that she's been kidnapped. Now, it's up to you how you want to go about telling her or explain the situation. But we need you to get her away from here. We need you to stay in hiding. And when the time is right, I would suggest you send pigeon or send word somehow. You have a capable young wizard with you, I'm suggesting, although he'll need to be watched carefully. The path to demonology and chaos is a very slippery path. And these foolhardy humans and elves can find themselves halfway along this path before they realize what it is. But yeah, he may have the ability to contact. But yeah, we need her out the way, and we need you to stay and look after her and make sure nothing happens to her. We was going to send the Elven Princess Alabania with you as well, but she's gone missing.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, the Elven Princess went missing.
When?
Well, she's not at home. She hasn't been at home all day, and we expected her in the morning. And
I was at home this morning, and her help said she was at home.
Help?
And I vaguely remember his name was it's like the flower, amaryllis or something like that.
No, I'm not sure. But yeah, we can speak later about this. Anyway, she's not about at the moment, which worries me. Not that she knew any of these plans, so yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about them knowing what's going on here. Before I explain anything else, are you willing to take up this task? You can stay in town and you can work for the right people, or you can do this for us and we will owe you a debt of gratitude, and we will pay you well for it.
But would we be officially kidnapping her?
Tough one to say, really.
I couldn't have that stain on my family's honour. My father
But it
would
wouldn't be
never
on.
forgive me.
It wouldn't be on your honour for a period of time that would, I would say, stain your family name.
How do we know? How do we know? Yep. How do we know that you ain't gonna be double crossing us? And then the next thing we know, we have some sort of, kidnapped princess in our midst.
Because I could quite simply tell the guards captain to have her men execute you all.
Is that not the definition of double crossing us, though? I'm not sure what you mean by this statement. However, I agree with my bearded friend here. I'm already wanted for a crime I didn't commit, and now you want me to commit a crime.
We know who committed that crime, and we will deal with that person.
Fabulous, guard captain. I'm off the hook. At which point, no, I'm not doing this job. This sounds like a terrible idea.
Okay.
I cannot risk the stain on my family's honour, as I'm sure Hagen could not as well.
Wow.
Okay, then may I ask what you suggest we do with the lady?
If you have people you can trust, by all means, get her to safety.
We don't, or I don't.
Did you
So
not say you trusted
just
these guards?
Sadly,
Don't
we're not there. I keep wanting to ask questions,
Did you
but we're
not
not
say
there.
that you trusted these guards?
I trust the guards, Captain. I don't trust any of them men.
How does the guard captain react to that?
She just sits virtually emotionless next to him, sort of staring at the table almost.
I would suggest you be honest with the lady. I'm sure she has places she can go. The lady of her means. Perhaps she could go into the mountains.
Do you
Stay
not
with the
think we've
dwarves.
looked at every opportunity of this?
Surely the dwarves would house her.
Hmm. All I'm saying is that
I'd happily escort her to Karakazgaraz,
the
but I
creature-
wouldn't do it as a kidnapping.
the creature of greed is back into play now in quite a robust way. And without meaning to cause offence, dwarf, but possibly quite the greediest of races live underground, shall we say.
Dwarven kind of less susceptible to these sorts of things. Or we would escort the lady under honest circumstances. I would not do it under illicit ones.
So if we were clear to the lady that she was being moved for her own good,
Yes, if I won't do it as a kidnapping, but I will escort her to safety under honest means.
I need to rethink this. It is possible, but again, we cannot know where you're taking her.
That's
It is
fine.
important.
As long as you tell the lady to trust us, we will take her somewhere. But we will not do it under a kidnapping. She must know we are doing it for her own safety.
Okay.
We can remove her at a time we won't even tell you.
Franz, could you get us a drink while I think things through? And shall we wait for your death wish, Dan, you bad person. Yeah, so we can maybe talk to your friends, especially the honourable friend.
I take offence at that.
Something.
We're all honourable here.
Oh, goodness gracious. Look, we're not going to bow and pout to you, elf, yes. Yeah, we're just asking you if you would like to do a job. Yes, I've been quite kind. I've listened to your words. Now I suggest that you suck it up, yeah, and listen to ours. Yeah, if you have come here to aid the lady, then this is your chance to do it. Otherwise, stand on the table, sing a song, and do a bit of dancing. Yeah, I'll bring some halflings down. They can dance with you as well. What's it going to be?
Oh, well, I'm going home. And at that point, Ilmarin just walks out of the bar.
You open the door, and at the door there are two backs of guards who are sort of facing away from the door, but they're stood in the way.
Excuse me, please.
Ilmarin, I suggest you come and sit back down, says the guards captain. Yeah, you have got to be questioned over the death of the priest.
I don't see the need for questioning. Von Gebel himself said I was not responsible for the death. Therefore,
But
they know who it was.
That's your lawyer. He's bound to speak that way.
He's not my lawyer, clearly, is he? Now, if you don't mind, I shall be leaving, and I'm going to go look for the Elven Princess.
Okay. Let him go. Nowhere. And they stand where they are. And two more step forward from a cart with bars on and point two crossbows towards you. Now, I would ask you again politely, come and take a seat, Elmarin.
I will not sit with the likes of you. And Elmarin like kind of huffs and walks over to the opposite end of the bar area.
Franz spots your eye, like sort of catches your eye from behind the bar.
Elmarin didn't understand a single word. Okay, sure.
No. Okay, we shall flip over to the other side of Ubersreik with Caroline, and
where Carolyn is
Hagen.
kind of force marching this poor street tough.
And you've got these two quite sturdy, rough ruffians coming with you as well.
Hagen turns to them and he's like, our goal, if possible, is to simply gather Gerhardt and return to the inn as quickly as possible. If violence is required, make your best judgment, but we must protect Gerhardt at all costs.
Okay. What are we facing?
That we don't know. Apparently a street gang. What's your name, sir?
Frank.
Frank is going to tell us all about this gang, and he's going to lead us to them. And because he understands that the first person I'm going to smash with this hammer is him, if he fails to be completely honest with us. And I hold the hammer of Hammer's Zeit right up under his head. Just chuck his chin a little bit.
So, yeah, I can understand that. Says the person calling himself Frank. You know, if anything was to happen to you in this gang fight that's going to go ahead in a minute between you boys and, you know, not my friends, if anything was to happen to you, would you mind if I kept hold of the hammer? I'd return it to your family, of course.
Please understand that if anything looks like it's going to happen to me, they'll be putting daisies on your grave first. So why don't you tell us how many of your not friends there are in this warehouse, or likely to be?
I don't know, because they aren't my friends.
That might be a little unfortunate for you, because the first person I will hit in there is you.
A intimidation roll can be made by anybody at this time. If yourself or Karen.
Loom.
I am looming with intent. This is where I completely balls up my intimidation roll.
Never.
This is where, without saying anything,
Or
you
the
slide
opposite.
the knife in until it pricks something kind of sensitive.
Considering I think that's actually a +5, not a +4, because I don't think it's
Very
taking into
nice.
account my talent. But
Right. First, can we get off to a fresh start? Yeah. My name isn't Frank at all. It's it's Christoph. And yeah, there's there's between 5 and 10 of them. Yeah, and the boss, well, he's called what is he called?
we have actually already had a name for him. I just can't remember what it is now.
Klaus von Rongstein.
That was it.
Big
Carolyn
Klaus,
Carolyn
he's known
knew the
as.
name.
Or Klaus the Hammer, or Klaus the Cleaver. or Klaus, the killer of many, the innocent person, or Klaus, the serial killer.
So I'm hearing that we'd probably be doing the city a favour if he ended up on the wrong end of Hagen's hammer. Anyway.
No, 'cause the
This
actors are good.
sounds fun. Maybe we should all go.
You did the bar talk, yeah.
I don't think he got a choice, really.
Well, yeah, I'll take you to where they are anyway. So he takes you down quite a bit of a shady part of Ubersreik into what is sort of a trade sort of area where lots of warehouses. And he turns the street and looks down, and he sort of springs back. Careful, because they've got a lookout on. Now, what I suggest is you let me go down there. I'll speak to him. I'll get us in there, and then I'll return to you guys, and then we can go and rescue your friend.
How about you just show us a more discreet entrance to the warehouse?
That's the only entrance that I know to, unless you want to go through the side of it.
Well, since I don't, for some reason, Christoph, I don't trust you, so I think we'll just go down together.
How about Hagen? I'll see if I can sneak up on him and lay him out more quietly.
Carolyn,
I've seen you
I
already.
love this plan.
You're
Not
there.
you, Christoph. You're going to stay right here with me.
Oh,
and Carolyn
okay,
is going to
right.
go discuss things with your lookout.
Don't be too far away if anyone starts shouting.
Yeah,
Understood.
careful, because he's known for his eagle-like eyesight.
Yeah, this might not go entirely to plan, but it's probably the better plan than if we can get the advantage of stealth then. Okay. My rolls again, well.
Like me, it's right up until the point of combat.
To be fair, this could be the difference between combat starting when I'm standing behind him and combat starting when he's got a bow and I'm 30 feet away.
Surprise round.
Yeah, who gets the surprise round? So, yeah, +2 success.
Just gonna tell you.
Let's see what his perception is like.
Yeah, of course. If he then gets +8 on his perception, then I'm a bit stuffed. But I'm hoping that he's not, you know.
Like Harry the Eagle.
Perception. He doesn't have any. Hold on a second. Yes, he does. My mistake. Why am I not making any rolls? Can anybody see if my rolls are working?
I'm not seeing anything come up.
Nope.
So what's going on here then?
Tension is killing me.
It's not what's going to kill me.
Let's try that. Does it work now? No.
Last night, Foundry was getting hung up a little bit. We just had to refresh, and it popped back.
Okay, let's just try that then. Okay, chucked us all out. Do apologise. And it might have chucked you lot out as well.
Got server connection re-established.
Yeah, that's
So.
cool. Right, let's see if we can do that again. Come on. You know you want to. And No, it's not having it.
Just roll a D100. You can see the stats.
Okay. So, yeah, you seem to work your way up to the side of the building, and he doesn't seem to have noticed you. He seems to be whittling a stick, and he is engrossed in it.
Well, my intention is basically to come up and punch him in the back of the head with knuckle dusters, because I'm not being subtle about this, but mostly just to get if I can take him out quietly, then the first thing they know about it is when Hagen opens the door with a hammer.
Okay.
That's my thought. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. So, I'm going to give you a free attack because he's quite engrossed in his stick, and I'm going to let you roll at challenging to hit him in the back of the head, and I'm going to call it that if you do more than 6 damage to him, you'll have caught him a right cropper, and he's going to fall like a...
Now, I'd love to, but annoyingly, I can't change anything. No, I do not want to duplicate the item. I want to equip my knuckle dusters.
It's a little tick box thing you have to.
Yes, yes, it is.
Unequip the previous thing.
I'm trying. I can't unequip, or I can't interact with those ticky boxes at all.
I'm having a problem with it or something.
It's just not reacting. It's sort of highlighting them, but then when I'm clicking, it's doing nothing. I'm going to try refreshing Foundry and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to do much, but...
Sorry, folks. I think Foundry's having issues. Oh, and that's all going on. Thank you very much, Yasarian, for subscribing.
Okay.
Never happens with dice. Just saying.
So it's let me roll that.
Come on. There we go. Now I can equip my knuckle dusters.
Okay.
Willpower test. Hungry for the ogre. Here's hoping we don't end up getting in another fight with an ogre. So...
Spoilers.
I'm also not convinced it's taking into account my my Strike Mighty Blow talent. So
No,
we'll see.
possibly not.
Or maybe the knuckle duster doesn't count as a melee weapon, so it doesn't get to apply. Not sure. Anyway, bash him.
Ever helpful Egil has told us there was a major update for Foundry on Monday. Apparently, it's broke quite a lot of stuff.
Okay.
That would probably do it. Right. Bash him over the back of that. It has taken it into account.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that did take into account then. So it's damages plus 6 basic, and then I've got 2 success levels, and then I've got 1. So 9 damage. 9 damage to the back.
No. Okay, yes. Oh, okay.
11
you
damage.
Give him a good crack.
Minus his soak.
And he does soak a little bit, but he does fall like a sack of hard rock, shall we say.
I'll then gesture for them to come up.
Okay, so from inside the warehouse, Gerhard, you have your hands tied behind your back to this solitary chair that was.
They stepped it up. They tied me.
And you sat down, and 2 more chairs have been brought up, and one is the large bloke who seems in charge of the police, sitting down opposite you, and the other one is with another chap. And there's one who's guarding the inside of the door, and there's one that went on the outside of the door. The other members of the group have gone to get some grog and some food and things for the long night. The two that are sitting close to you are playing cards with you. Okay, and every time one of them wins a hand, they get to give you a bit of a kick or a prod or a bit of a slap, and they seem to be getting great delight from this. Nothing too heavy, but it's almost they're trying to get a reaction from you. So, like, you know, rather than sometimes a punch in the nose, a bent finger backwards, or a nipple cripple, or you know, it's they're not very nice people, but they're quite easily pleased. Okay, and you're into about the 8th round now, and the big guys won 6 of them, so it does hurt more than it should have done. But yeah, okay, yeah, this person goes down on the outside.
Hagen walks up, looks at Carolyn. He's like, "Very well done. Shall we?" And I turn to Christoph and say, "If you do anything other than sit quietly once we go in there, we'll hunt you down and kill you for your part in this. But if you sit quietly by the wall at the end of this, I'll just let you go."
Okay, understood.
Still remember that +5 intimidation roll.
Just be, you know, and it keeps staring at Carolyn all the time, and sort of putting distance between himself and
the terrifying woman.
But if anything was, you know, to happen, I'm sorry to be cheeky, and I'll make sure you get a good burial, and you know your body's looked after, and your soul's intact, and all of that rubbish. Well, not that it's rubbish, by the way, and I'm not trying to say that it is. But if I make sure that happens, could I maybe inherit that hammer?
No. If we don't come back, all of the people you saw in that inn when we left will be hunting you down next. So it is in your best interests that we walk out of here alive.
Okay. And he gestures towards the door.
Why don't you open it up for us, Christoph?
Okay. He walks up to the door and he tries and opens it, and it's locked. He goes, "Oh, it's locked." Oh.
Why don't you knock on the door and announce yourself, Christoph?
"George," comes from inside. "You know what you've got to do? You've got to give the secret knock." And he just turns round and looks at you.
Give the secret knock.
They would have come up with it when they brought it back. I wasn't back here with him.
Then announce yourself and say you don't have the secret knock.
Alan, it's Jeff. Yeah, I tried to get them to come with me down the Red Moon, but they wouldn't come. I've just said that George can go and relieve himself. Can you let me in, please? Yeah, hold on a minute. And you hear the key turn and the door opens. And there's quite a shocked-looking gentleman behind it as he opens the door and sees you there.
I hit him with the hammer.
Diplomacy.
I'll give you a
Best
free
line
hit.
ever.
Secret knock?
Yeah.
Oh!
So that's
my days.
14 damage to the left arm.
So he's opened the door with his left arm, and he's looked out, and he sort of freezes.
And then another 2 wounds.
Yeah, in sort of terror, as you bring your hammer down that hits him on his upper arm, and he still holds on to the door as you hit it, and you hear this crack and this wrench as he goes down with his arm, and then he sort of lets go, and his arm's hanging limply at the side of him. Boss, we've got company. And he drops to his knees, holding his arm.
Stay there, son.
Yeah,
He's a
yes,
Kniggett.
sir.
And Hagen walks in and loudly states, I see that you've been entertaining my friend Gerhardt. It's time that he come along now. Why don't you be good chaps and let him go?
So Klaus stands up, and he's quite a big chap, is Klaus. And as he stood up, he sort of unsheathed his dagger. And he moves to behind the chair to where Gerhardt's sitting. One more step. And I'll pierce his the bit in his head. Brain. I'll pierce his brain with this dagger.
Let me introduce myself. I am
You'll
Sir
stand
Hagen.
there.
I am Sir Hagen Ritter von Delbers, and you have my sworn promise that if you let him go, we will simply walk away with our friend. If you stab him, I will kill you. I will kill all of your friends. I will hunt down your family and have them thrown into the street and imprisoned as beggars, and I will have your homes destroyed. That is a promise from a knight of the White Wolf to a thug who is holding my friend. Choose.
And he sort of nods in a little bit of respect towards you. Yeah, you do have quite a specific set of skills there. But how about my friend and what your Conrad did to my friend?
Which friend is that? I don't believe that Gerhardt has ever harmed anyone that I'm aware of.
Gerhard didn't, but that stunted, bearded git that you travel around with didn't he? Eh? Yeah, just over a bit of like bragging. Yeah, your friend, decided he was gonna make my friend eat soup for the next few weeks if he pulls through and he can still walk. He's in a bad way.
Jim, as soon as Hagen had walked in, I will have been leaning forward, being all injured or whatever, and I'm gonna try and be muttering under my breath to try and open the lock magically because I have.
Excellent. Yes.
So I'm using the kind of speechifying to try and get myself out of immediate danger. Given that apparently he was not holding the thing up. Why is that not popping up a thing?
How about him then, yeah? How about his family?
Do you have to restart? Everyone, I had to restart before I could interact with anything.
Okay. I'll be back in a second.
Apologies again for Foundry being rather cack tonight.
It's my fault. It's not giving me pop-ups. I'll be back in a second. And then I'll make my roll. Feel free to
we need hold music.
Dun, 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 dun,
Why is it always? It's always elevator music.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun,
Or
dun,
game
dun,
show.
dun, dun, dun.
Okay, magic. Where am I? I'm gonna use a fortune point. Try again.
Oh, you don't need to. If you use a fortune point, you'll pass.
Oh yeah, I use a fortune point to pass. So
Okay.
the lock just goes tink. I'm not going to pull them off.
You
yet.
feel
I'm
it
waiting
rather
for
than
the
hear it.
opportune moment.
Click.
I'm just going to wait until the opportune moment. I don't know if I'm going to need to use it or not.
How about his family? Yeah.
If you're talking about the bar brawl, then my associate.
It wasn't a brawl. It was merely pouring him a pint where your friend decided to pick up the barrel and smash his face in with it.
And the city guard has already arrested Mordek for that crime. And your friend will be, and if you choose to allow Gerhardt to walk out of here, as we previously discussed, I will compensate your friend for his injury and his loss of business.
Let's talk compensation then. You compensate, we'll make sure all the charges have been dropped as well. Yeah.
What kind of compensation do you think your friend would be looking for?
Coin.
I assumed that much, but how much coin?
At least 3 pennies.
Right. I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to afford this.
I won't know until you tell me.
2 gold crowns.
Let's be clear, because I don't want your friend to suffer, and I want this to end peacefully. I will give you 3 gold crowns right now, and we will all walk away happy and fully compensated for our morning's misunderstanding. Do we have a
3
deal?
gold crowns, sorry.
3 gold crowns. We leave here. Your friend is compensated. You and I never have to see one another again.
Right,
Hagen?
this is my last offer.
Right. I'm ready.
1.5 gold crowns.
You drive a very hard bargain, but I accept your terms. 1.5 gold crowns.
And he looks very pleased with himself and sort of looks around at his friends who are looking a little bit confused themselves.
And Hagen pulls out 1.5 gold crowns, goes over, holds out his hand to shake with Klaus's, with the money in it, and goes, "It was good to be able to come to an accord with you, sir."
Okay, he puts his dagger away and sort of strides over to you and gives himself a big and sticks his hand on
Phlegmy
with the dripping saliva off it.
Hagen will shake it. Not even grimace, just shake it. He's seen and dealt with worse on the battlefield, and then he'll just turn to Gerhard and go, "Are you ready to leave, my friend?"
Oh, sure. No, that's done with. He's going to stand up and like pull his hands around, drop the cuffs on the table, and like pick up his book bag and staff and go.
That was a good sound effect.
That was a very good sound effect.
Plates. I hope not to see you guys again. To the guys who were like tormenting me or whatever.
You're a witch.
You hope not to see me again. And I'm going to walk towards Hagen.
He sort of stands aside.
And we walk out. As we're walking out, I kind of fill Gerhard in a little bit on what's going on back at the inn. So I don't know. We may get back, and Mordek and Ilmarin may be in chains, or they may be dead, or something else may be going on. Von Gebel is there, so it's a total crapshoot.
Hogan, before you leave, yeah.
Yes, Mr. Klaus.
What say you trade this bag full of coin, 1.5 gold, for that hammer?
Klaus, I appreciate the offer. I really do, but this hammer has been in my family, and I'll be keeping it.
Is just for reference, is anyone else beginning to like Klaus? Just a bit.
So
Can't say I am really.
I don't want to push my luck a bit, but how about if I sort of got insulted by that and sort of said, "You better take this coin and give me that hammer, or else you won't be able to leave the warehouse."
I respect your bargaining position there, Klaus. Let me counter with, do what you think you need to do, and I will give you this hammer, but it will be the last thing you see on this plane before you are greeted in Moore's Gardens.
Carolyn's going to. Carolyn's.
Good line.
It is a good line. Unfortunately, maybe a little misplaced. He's going to kill you with it. Carolyn
What
will.
with these words?
No, with the hammer. He's going to give it to you heavy end first.
You're proper emulated, you are. How long have you been emulated for?
Klaus, I'm fairly certain we're done with this conversation now, and I'm leaving. If you want to die today, I won't stand in your way. I will help you get to Moore's Garden.
Axe, he shouts out. There. Beat that with a word of more letters, more letters than that. Axe.
All right. I see your X. Are we doing this then? Because if we're doing it, I don't have a lot of time.
Is
so
he just
let's
shouting
get to it.
axe, or is he calling for an
Is he just
axe? I'm not
shouting, or
quite
is he-
sure
or is he holding
what's
it up
going
for
on.
us again?
Jim, is he actually waving? Is he
He's
actually
just
got an
shouting,
axe?
No, he's shouting axe and pointing over at your direction, and then sort of looking rather pleased to himself, to his friends.
I turn to his friends and I go, some of you may understand this. These two gentlemen that we're with are part of the city guard. The city guard captain sent us here. If we don't leave, regardless of the circumstance, your gang is going to be hunted down and you'll all be executed for killing a noble.
Oh, hold on a minute. Are you saying that you're rats? You're all undercover, working for the guards?
Well, we work for the leadership of the city, and they are guards, and I am a noble. All of this is executable offenses already, and I'm just trying to make sure that none of you have to die today. But if that's what you want, I'm willing
Klaus
to
puts
give
a
you
big
this
hand
hammer.
on his friend's shoulder. I have this in hand, yeah. He's struggling. He's trying to worm his way out of it. I've beat him. Axe.
Should we just leave? I'm
I
not
think
quite
so.
sure what is going on here, but should we just leave?
Hagen just kind of starts walking towards the door.
See,
Backing
he cannot
towards the door.
compete with the mighty Klaus and my spelling.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Klaus. Good luck with your criminal endeavors. Hopefully, we will never meet one another again.
Oh, I'm sure our paths will cross again.
Well, honestly, if you want to end it right now,
Call me Klaus the Word Master.
I'm going to call you Klaus the Dumbass, because that is literally what you are. Probably the most stupid person I've ever met in my life.
No need for that, was it really? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're having the to and fro, the banter of the battle, so to speak. Yeah, see what I did there? Yeah.
You're quite the wordsmith, Klaus. Forgive me for my ignorance of your skills.
Yeah.
And Hagen just walks back out of the warehouse, shaking his head.
And as you leave, you hear the word green shouted.
Green, like the color.
Were they all secretly orcs?
I'm not sure.
With face paint on. We didn't notice the tusk. It was very, very dark in the room.
You know, for someone with his reputation, I kind of expected a little bit. Oh dear.
I think we scared the elf off.
A little bit more. We've lost an elf. Right, that's completely messed my. That's completely messed the Twitch feed.
Probably not worth fixing it just yet.
Yeah,
I'm assuming as soon as
If he pops back up in place, we should all just go back into place. If he doesn't,
No, he was last in as well.
yeah, exactly.
So it should go right.
I think it should work.
We're all a bit sideways.
Yeah, we're all a bit sideways.
Okay,
Because-
shall we take a break now?
Probably a good place to
get a
pause.
drink and
Yeah, let's pause for a bit.
yeah. Okay. So we're going to take a 5-minute break now. We shall be back very soon. Don't forget to join us on Discord as well after tonight's session.
Okay.
Anything else?
Probably not. We'll be
Okay.
back in a few minutes.
Yeah. I'll stay on. Yeah. Okay, welcome back to episode 9, part 2. All the adventurers have returned safely from their toilet and drinks making, and we are rejoined by Dan as well. So everybody, Dan, everybody, Dan. And we'll rejoin the group as Hagen, Carolyn, and Gerhardt come walking through the door, and you find a bit of an awkward atmosphere in the inn itself. What you see is Ilmarin is sitting in a corner away from everybody else. Franz had brought you a drink of some form over that he knows you like to try and cheer you up. And he sort of gave you one of them, not a punch to the face, but where he sort of rests his hand against your chin and sort of a love sort of push, yeah, to try and cheer you up. Like, well, no, you're an elf. No uncles have done that to you before, but the humans would have known what it is.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No. As in a...
Yeah. Back under the chin,
Yeah, as in one of those.
Fuck up, buddy.
Yeah, and everybody else
Not
is
the same circles, clearly.
Everybody else is sat round the large table, and the cook Gunter is halfway through a story of the best dish he's ever cooked in his life ever. So yeah, I got like a chunk of this big fish. Yeah. The guy who caught it, yeah, he was catching it all day, or so I believe they call it landing it or something. Yeah, and yeah, we obviously got it first, but yeah, we got a big fillet of this fish, and we sort of we thought, well, how are we going to tackle this? So I had the idea that we'd grill it a little bit first. So I grilled it a little bit. I put a little bit of seasoning on, pepper, salt, and some more pepper, and then we grilled it a little bit. But then it wouldn't fit in the big pan, so we had to sort of beat it down a little bit and fitted it in the pan. And then to finish it off, we put some nice big chunky potatoes in it. Oh, it tasted a treat. Oh, look, it's the other ones. Hagen. Or should I say Sir Hagen?
Quite the tale, Gunter. Quite the tale. Thank you. We broke Gerhardt away from his new friends, and seems like something's been going on here. Is Johann, you want to fill me in, or Von Gebel?
Yeah, if Von Gebel's still kind of talking away with people at the table, I'll kind of move away and go brief Hagen and the others.
It sounds like the lady needs our help, but I think you're right. I think we have to tell her up front and then spirit her away. We can't be seen as kidnappers.
On our families' names if we were accused of kidnapping.
I just don't want to be hung.
That, and it's very easy for something to go
hanged, whatever it is.
Exactly, the risk is too great. I couldn't risk the family's name on that.
Okay.
Yeah, so if Von Gebel will agree to it, then we explain to the lady what needs to happen, and we just spirit her away at some point without telling anyone else. I think that would be the best way to do it.
Where and when will be determined by us.
Yeah, I don't see why she'd have to think it was a kidnapping. Surely it's a lot easier if she doesn't. Kidnap victims have a tendency to, shout and scream and generally resist and make everything difficult, whereas try and get away, whereas if
we have no intention of accidentally harming her in trying to help her.
Yeah. Not to mention, if she knows up front, she may have a suggestion of where we might take her that may be the safest.
Perhaps it's somewhere best if we decide. No. Then she wouldn't. Anywhere she might know, others might know.
Anywhere she might go, others might suspect she'd gone, even if,
So Von Gebel finishes scribbling in his little notebook, and then sort of turns a couple of pages and sort of nods to himself. And right, so I've been rethinking. look, before I go any further, I maybe snapped a little bit at our fair long-lived friend. I didn't mean it. Yeah, there's a lot going on. You know, I don't want to be seen as that guy who puts everybody to the flame, and that I'd like to make sure that the Lady Nat is looked after. Yeah, so please accept my apology. Yeah, I didn't mean any sort of slight on your name, but it's important that we get Lady Nat looked after. You were sent down for a reason. Yeah, I understand that, you know, you're a little bit off centre after dealing with things that no one wants to deal with, but I'm your best source of dealing with that. Yeah, so a little bit of give and a little bit of take, if you know what I mean.
I didn't like you when you were a lawyer, and I don't like you now.
Well, you don't have to like me. Yeah, there's a lot of people who I don't like, and a lot of them in this room. But, yeah, you know, maybe we can meet in the middle and make sure that we're all working in the same direction. And that is the direction of keeping a good soul safe, yeah?
Right now, my priority is to find the princess. She's gone missing, and I shall look for her. She's one of my kind, and your people don't seem to be doing anything about it.
Well, of course, we're going to have to insist that you go with the guards captain there. Yeah, I will give you my assurance that I will put my best men into finding the elven lady.
Just like you did her partner.
I suggest you dig a little deeper into her partner before you start throwing allegations out.
Was he involved in these events? In
I
any way?
really suspect it.
Something's
Someone,
not right there, is it?
Yeah, that scene I found. I think I know. I think I've guessed who killed the halfling.
Let's put it this way: there's only two people that I can think of that had something to do with that, and one of them was your lady friend, the elf. And I tend to trust what she says a little bit more than.
Oh, hey, for those of us that aren't inebriated, could you please tell me what is going on? Why are elves been murdering halflings?
In order to free whatever was inside.
That's my guess. I mean, I don't know anything about magic and stuff, but there was a big thing across the front that looked magical, and the halfling was hanging there.
I mean, it would make sense. Ilmarin mentioned
And
something to do with their
this
god
other
of murder.
thing, like, was all about, I don't know, hanging someone. This doesn't seem like the kind of style for the. Seem to be more into the stabbing.
I used the information that you brought back, and I looked into it, and I can't find the name of this creature that you mentioned. I found information out about this ebon blade that you spoke of, and I believe that it's them who made an attempt on the Lady Nat's life. And there is some form of what's that?
Would an image of this creature be helpful?
Yeah, absolutely it would.
I'll kind of get out pen and paper and start drawing.
Okay,
I
make
will use
me
my
a roll.
I'm using my artist talent, which enables me to draw things like wanted posters.
Okay.
Did you see
Excellent.
the dark elf though?
Yes, we all saw the dark elf when we were at the.
You saw it. Everyone saw a hooded figure in the. The dark elf wasn't in the pit with us.
No, it was in
No,
the.
but
It was in the cage.
it was in the
In the
cage
cage.
while Joanne
and
was eating
I did go
human
and
flesh.
look at the cage.
Oh, because I went up to the cage and I couldn't see his face because he covered himself with his hood. So.
Oh, okay. So, well, Jim, did we see his face?
You'd be able to draw a hooded figure.
Oh, okay. If I didn't see his face, I wouldn't have offered then.
Well, you'd probably get the bottom half of his.
He
Sort
looks
of,
like this.
Like,
It's a picture of a hood with the nose. All I can see is the nose.
Oh, yeah, if I didn't see his face, I wouldn't bother asking.
Look, by God, look, up. I don't know about you manlings like, but I am currently in this inebriated state because of the events that we've just been through. And it's all gone down pretty quickly. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't think going down this rabbit hole again is going to be a good idea for any of us. I mean, I am sorry, and it is a dishonor on my name for what I did to that gent, but he had it coming. But if we go through all this again, I don't think all of us are getting out of it, if you know what I mean.
We're all part of Sigmar's plan.
Take foot here.
Mordek, I understand your fears. And if you do not wish to take up this quest, I understand that as well. But they have slain the den father of the Temple of Ulrich here in Ubersreik. And that, beyond the fact that they are also responsible for the death of my mother's family, these things I cannot allow. So I will see this quest through.
Now, listen up here, young manling. I ain't saying I ain't getting involved in no fight. I will, of course, come with you to help settle your honour, and that's against any grievances against you and yours. I'm just saying that we've all got to be prepared that we might not all make it out of this in one piece.
I have already consigned my soul to Ulrich. I am prepared for that.
So this is the way I see it working. Yeah, you're all to leave in a moment with the guards captain and men in their cart outside, where you'll be taken to the cells beneath the guardhouse. Yeah, you'll stay there for a short while, where I will see to it that your escape can be made without anybody knowing of where you are. You'll be met at a location by Franz and Gunter. There will be a coach waiting for you there, and I'm willing to make a donation in case you wish to fortify armor or do whatever to this coach. And then, you're to leave. I'll probably put a timeline on how long you keep the lady out of harm's way for, and then maybe we could, meet somewhere.
I'm not following why we need to be criminals in this. I mean, why?
No, I'll clear your name. That's not a problem. I just don't want anybody following you. So from the cells, no one can follow you.
Clear. Why not just
Plausible deniability.
Yeah, I'm kind of. This feels like you're
Don't worry,
making
Carolyn,
sure
they're
you're in
setting
a
up,
perfect
they're setting
position.
up the elf for the fall. As always with humans,
They're setting up the six of us for the fall.
Not really. You're not the one that's being taken to a jail cell and being told you're going to
They
escape.
want to take us all to the jail cell.
That's what I heard. I heard we were all going to the jail cell.
Oh.
Yeah, for once, my long-lived friend, the story doesn't revolve around just to say it's your group, your friends that we want to take.
I just don't get why we all need to
because I want to make sure that you're not followed.
Escape from prison.
I wish to oversee the modifications to the coach. I can't do that from a jail cell.
No, nor will you have to. You'll be taken to the location of the coach when you are led from the cells by my men.
I'll go with the coach. I'm not going into a cell. I will not risk the stain on my family's honour.
And I'm just not going in myself.
How about this, Von Gebel? We leave the city on some supposed errand. Then we circle back. We're met by Franz at some predetermined location, and then he leads us to the location where the coach is at, and we make the changes there.
She's back in the city.
Yes. But if we leave the city and then we are careful in our return, no one will know that we're back. It seems like it would be as simple as the escaping from jail.
Plus, if we're conspicuously brought to a jail cell, people will know where to wait for us.
I
The options we do escape.
I have the maps of a tunnel system, one of them which leads to the cells themselves. This will take you directly or indirectly to where I want to take you. That's sort of a safe way of passage. If you want to do what you're saying, I'm absolute with you. You can leave the city.
Leave the city, come back in through the tunnels.
Okay.
Then we're not seen at the gates or anything.
Can I have a look at the map of the tunnels to see if one comes up near the engineering workshop that I was working in?
I don't have those with me. I wasn't aware of this course of action at the time.
Could I see the tunnels before we leave the city?
In what way? You wish to see physical?
I want to see a map. I want to see where the entrances and exits are.
I believe you've been down to part of the tunnels already.
Well, if we're going to be using them to come back into the city without going through the gates, then it would be good to have the map.
I'll fetch them and come back tonight.
Okay.
And we can go through them and work out a route back in.
That seems reasonable to me. Johan, what do you think?
Yeah. As long as it doesn't involve me going into a cell or being a criminal of any kind or implication thereof, I will be willing to help the lady and do what I can to fight chaos. The ruinous powers can't be permitted to gain a foothold.
Speaking of not
I do find it worth investigating at some point your strong grip on pride.
You've not dealt with the nobility before?
Personally, it's got nothing to do with pride and everything to do with not wanting to be the scapegoat when you've clearly set us up as criminals before this even started. Sorry, I don't trust you.
I am an agent of Sigmar.
For which I have your word. I'm willing to go along with this plan as it now stands, but
yes, and I will allow that to happen. I mean, we've not spoke about price yet, but plan of yours comes to a bad ending, you will have to answer to the decisions that you have made.
Understood. I have a feeling if this plan comes to a bad ending, we will ourselves be ended by it, but your point is taken.
All the angles covered, Von Gebel, I see.
You also mentioned you were able to give us some funding in order to secure what's necessary to undertake this task.
What do you need? Get me a list together of what you want and I'll see what I can do. I'm not promising the world. And whatever equipment I do get you, I would like it recompensed or returned after your mission is complete.
Were we not being paid for this?
I'll pay you as well, but you don't need me to tell you that some equipment that people use and armor and arms are a king's ransom.
That is fair, Von Gebel. at least from my perspective.
Also, from the point of view of not being seen as a criminal, my studies have progressed to a point where I need to find myself a magical license. Perhaps you can point me in the direction of who could sort that out for me. I don't want to be
absolutely, yeah.
seen using arcane magics outside of my studies and get alive for it. I'm sure you understand.
Then it appears that we are at somewhat of an agreement.
Yeah. I'm happy if you are.
I am happy to serve Ulrich and the lady.
We will leave the city at a time we choose. We will make the arrangements without telling anyone of when. And then we will go somewhere where we will not tell you.
You've got 6 days to leave the city with the lady. And
Right.
I will need to be contacted as to where to meet you once you're ready to meet. And we've got to somehow get the lady to you without being followed.
Where is the most discreet place to contact you?
Perhaps, I believe, didn't you say, Von Gebel, that it would be either through Gerhardt's magic or by pigeon?
Indeed, I'll make sure that you've got a pigeon in a cage, and you can send him to me. And yeah, I'll make sure. Well, or you could meet me in the cells underneath the guardhouse.
So we leave tomorrow. We ride out for a day. We make sure we lose anyone who might be trying to follow us. We sneak back into the tunnels, meet you under the guardhouse. You bring in the goods and the location of the lady where we can pick her up, and then we spirit her off. Is that the plan?
Yeah, no, that sounds a good plan to me.
Well, we will ride out within the next few days, and we will send you the pigeon. You will not have much notice. It's best.
I will not lie to you. I mean, the reason we came up with the kidnapping idea to start with was because she will kick and she will scream. She won't be happy and she'll demand certain things. But for her own good, she needs to be kept away from this city especially.
That's fine. Where is the coach we will be taking? I will make the modifications to it myself.
Okay, and he writes down the address and passes it to you. It's a warehouse in the trade district of Ubersreik.
Can I take it to a workshop?
If you wish to, yes, but again, prying eyes and all that. Your actions are yours, and your decisions are to make. I've put a situation in front of you that I think would be more safe and more secure, but you don't wish that mark on your name of you or your friends, so you're free to come up with your own choice, and I trust you in that.
Very well. We will notify you of where to rendezvous and when.
Yes. And yeah, okay. No problem. I'll get everything that you need to this warehouse on the morning.
I'll prepare a list of stuff that we need.
Okay. I'll leave you to it. Guards captain, shall we? And he opens the door. The guards captain is. Yeah, well, I'm glad you've seen it from our point of view, guards captain. I mean, yeah, like I said, this evidence that I've shown you tonight is, it's fairly strong, and it proves that Ilmarin would be far too intelligent and far too strong-willed not to have had part of this that you accuse him of. And they walk out and shut the door. Stu, anybody?
So you guys are undercover agents?
He is.
That explains the culinary side of things. I whisper, not where he was in.
So, Franz Gunther, you will be the ones meeting us then, at the when the time is right.
Yeah, there's also our friend as well, Alphonse Dubois. He's an intelligent man. He deals with subterfuge and things like that.
Can you arrange for the coach, which is located here, and I'll show him the address, to be taken to, and I will give him the location of the engineer's workshop.
Yeah, can do.
And I'll also give him a list of materials to ask if they can be sent there to be charged to the other guy.
Okay, from upstairs, you hear some footsteps, and coming down the stairs is your auntie, Hagen.
Hagen grabs his hammer tighter and approaches the stairs. Who are you?
I'm your aunt and you're my nephew, Hagen.
No. That I can no longer believe. Show us your true face, or we will escort you to a room that you cannot simply jump out of.
I left because there was trouble, and I knew I couldn't do anything about it.
Aunt, I think it's best now that we escort you to the Church of Sigmar, and the Sigmarites can determine the veracity of your tale. I no longer find that I can trust you.
I'm not sure what you mean.
I mean that I do not believe you are my aunt, and if you are, I believe you are completely corrupt. I believe you are an agent of chaos, a force of evil, and likely the assassin of the den father of the Church of Ulrich. You are an enemy of mankind, and you are going to be taken to the witch finders, and they will determine the truth of that. And if I am wrong, you will have my eternal sorrow at putting you through this, but I am fairly certain that I am not wrong.
Accuse me of killing a priest?
Yes.
Then take me to your Sigmarites and I'll prove my innocence.
That is the way it must be. My friends, would you help me escort this woman to the Temple of Sigmar?
Happily.
Your aunt.
This woman, for now. And if I am wrong, you will have my greatest and sincerest apology.
You carry my brother's hammer. I suggest you show a little bit more respect to me.
I respect your brother and love him with all my heart. You, I cannot make that same claim of at this moment. Perhaps I'm wrong, but time will tell.
And I find it hard to believe how my brother died and you and your friends, who seem foolhardy at best, survived.
He died mutated by the forces of chaos that were let into your house from the room you were in. That is how he died.
I don't think that arguing over this is going to achieve anything. Either she's innocent, in which case you're arguing and you're trying to persuade an innocent woman that she's guilty, which isn't going to achieve anything, or she's guilty, in which case she's not going to admit anything because she's whatever the hell that thing is. Let's just
Let's
go.
just get her to the temple.
You're right, Carolyn. I'm just disheartened by this whole event.
I won't forgive you for this, Hagen.
I understand. I accept that burden. Let's go.
Can I go and get dressed first?
Gerhardt and I will escort you up.
I'll come with. At least that way you can have someone keeping an eye on you without completely...
And the rest, if you'd be so kind, or at least someone, if you would go outside and station outside of her window in the event that she does overpower us and choose to leave by that method, as she has already proven capable of doing.
Come on, Omar, and we'll do that. I'm not sure Mordek could keep up if she ran.
Hey, oof. Hey up now, manling.
Not with that much ale in you.
Mordek, if she comes back out over the stairs, Mordek, perhaps you could station yourself at the doors so that she can't get past.
You call it ale, I call it endurance juice.
So Carolyn, Gerhardt, and I, if they're okay with it, escort her upstairs so she can change. Into what? Who knows?
She shuts the door behind herself as she enters the room.
I don't allow.
I was
intending with her.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was intending that at least I would be there while she was
Yeah.
changing. That's the reason I went up.
Yeah.
The reason I was going up was she could reasonably protest having two men watching her get changed.
Carolyn can be in the room with her, and she's not allowed to latch the door. She can shut it so that we can't look in. She can't latch it.
She huffs and she shuts the door.
As she goes to shut the door completely, I just put my hand on it so it's still cracked open. And I go, Carolyn, if you need anything.
Will do.
Do you really have that little honor, Hagen?
I have that little faith in you.
Your companion will watch me. I'd rather you didn't. I find that a little disturbing.
I will be outside in the hall. Carolyn,
to clarify, I think the description he was going with is just it hasn't closed entirely. It's not like he can see through.
Oh yeah. Just she just can't latch the door closed. It's just cracked a little.
He's not trying to peek.
No peeking.
Okay, she walks over to the trunk at the end of her bed and she opens it. And she reaches in and she fetches out a coat and she puts her coat on and says, "Oh, well, I'm ready."
Okay. I'll step away from the door and gesture for her to go and open the door. I don't want to take my eyes off her at the moment.
Okay, she walks past you and she walks past Hagen on the stairs without looking at him. Sort of sticks her nose in the air as she makes the pass. And she walks quite ladylike down the stairs.
And as we walk out the front door, I call out to Ilmar and Johan that we are headed towards the Temple of Sigmar.
Yeah, I'll join them.
Okay. You get to the temple. Quite a grand building. I think you've been here before. It's everything that the Temple of Ulrich isn't, really. It's very plush and very nice, and everything about it gleams.
In the walk over, Ilmarin disappears.
Okay.
As we walk in, Hagen looks for one of the priests, or if there's a witchfinder in the temple, a witchfinder.
It's probably not likely to be one in the temple, probably priests, but the chances of a witch hunter being around are quite low.
Yeah.
Or at least obviously.
Right. Or a Templar or a priest.
You do know of a witch hunter in Ubersreik.
Mm-hmm. We'll turn her over to the temple, and if they choose to involve a witch hunter, that'll be the call of Sigmar.
Okay. Yeah, you hand her and they take her away. She goes quiet.
I explained. I said she was subject to corrupting influences. I hope and pray that she is herself, but be aware that there may be treachery afoot.
Okay.
Hagen looks just shattered by this whole event. He's just, just quiet tears rolling down the corners of it from the corners of his eyes, and he's almost shaking as he walks out of the Temple of Sigmar.
Johan will remain inside the temple.
Everybody make me a difficult perception roll, please.
So if I can get another 3... perception, difficulty... Difficult load. It's only -10, okay. What the hell? I'm passing everything tonight. How the hell am I passing everything tonight?
So we'll use a fortune.
Oh no, yeah. I'm too upset to notice anything.
I don't know who new character
But I got
is,
astounding failure.
I fail.
Dwarf is very drunk. I managed to pass on I need on a 14. I needed a 14. I got a 5. Pass
you are
with a
convinced,
success level.
Carolyn, you are being followed by someone or something. When you turn around, though, there is a few people out on the streets, and you can't sort of really see anybody following you. But that little hand at the back of your head keeps tapping to say, there's something wrong here.
Okay, while I'm in the temple, I will try
sorry.
and talk to one
I
of
was
the
muted.
priests.
I was going to say. I was just saying. I shall quietly say to the others that she thinks that they're being followed.
Oh, we've been raided. Welcome, raiders.
Yeah, she thinks they're being followed. Just something about the way the street feels. She can't point at someone who's following her, but she's pretty certain someone is.
Do you think you could lead us to an area of town where it might become more obvious who's following us?
Personally, I was hoping to stop in on Ulrich's temple. I think that might not be a bad idea for you as well.
I'll lead us towards the temple. Keep your eyes open and see if you can actually identify who's following us.
You can make another difficult roll again, Carolyn.
That's more as I was expecting. To be fair, I've rolled under 10 twice this session, so getting a 90.
Fortune points.
I do have fortune points. Let's fortune point it so I don't fail quite so spectacularly. No, I'm not taking a dark deal to re-roll.
You could do. I'm happy for you to take that option.
It's not as bad.
It's not as bad. I don't fail quite as spectacularly. I don't think I'm going to pass. I'm not likely to pass a 14.
Okay.
So
you're convinced that the measures you've taken have lost the tail. You're quite pleased with yourself and your comrades that you've been skillful enough to do this.
Well done, Carolyn. We'll just proceed on to the Temple of Ulrich then and see what we can do about setting that to right.
So you get to the temple, and where there was once like double doors at the front of it, there is a drape that has been put in front of the doors, and there are 4 guards that stand with pike and shield in front of this drape.
Are they city watch or are they followers of Ulrich?
They're city watch.
Good evening. I am Sir Hagen Ritter von Delbers, a knight of Ulrich, and I have come to see what assistance we can offer during these trying times.
They step aside for you. We're expecting you. So.
Thank you. And Hagen will walk into the temple.
Carolyn will try and follow.
I'm still in the Sigmarite one.
Yep.
So, as you enter, the first thing that hits you is the smell from in there, and it is a smell of thick sulfur. And then the second thing that hits you in this, it's quite a bright light in here now. There's lots of candles, lots of lanterns lighting up everywhere. Is the amount of blood that is up the walls, on the floor, on the pews, on the altar. It's as if a number of people died here and there. Their blood was literally drained from them and thrown about the place.
I look to see if I see Magnar, that mad priest, anywhere.
No.
Hagen just looks around at the blood stains, and he's like, he turns back to the guards and he says, "Has the temple been cleared? Can the cleansing of the altar be started?"
Magdar said that we were to leave it until he gave orders to start cleaning it.
Understood, guardsman. Thank you. So at that Hagen just sort of backs up so that he is almost back to the doors or back to the curtain, and he turns to Carolyn. Until this place is cleansed, this is not a Temple of Ulrich until it is cleansed. There's nothing here for me now. And he brusquely turns and walks back out the curtains and past the guards.
As he opens the curtains, he sees Magnar walking with 2 sort of walking sticks across the square over to the temple.
Magnar.
Aye.
What is it that I can do to help make this right?
I say gaze at the symbols that have been etched on the walls so we know what we're fighting. Let your hatred fuel you, and let us hunt this creature down and kill it.
That is my greatest goal. I will avenge the Den Father and my uncle against this beast.
Come and sit down. We can talk about what's going on. Let's bathe in what has been done here.
Hagen will follow him in.
So Magdar walks in. Are you all there apart from young Ilmarin?
I'm not there. I'm still at the Sigmarite one.
Okay. Ilmarin, what are you doing? Anything in particular, or?
I am going to the princess's house again.
Okay. No worries. I'll come back to you in a minute.
Can I go with him?
Yeah, of
No.
course. So Magdar goes
I-
back into.
I'm
the
only
church.
going if I'm invited.
Ilmarin stealthed away. I rolled a stealth roll. I got a
fair
4.
enough.
You guys didn't even see me leave.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, so who is with Hagen? Nobody.
I'll be with
or
Hagen.
this-
Yes, I am.
Okay. So Magdar walks back into the temple. You follow if you wish. And he turns to you. Can I get you gentlemen a drink? I have water.
At the moment, I only want to sup and drink on vengeance, but thank you, my friend.
Well, I'm going to get one myself. So does anybody else want one? No. Okay. And he goes into the back room and he comes back out about 2 or 3 minutes later. He sits down. And he looks around, and you look around at the walls and you notice that chaos symbols have been etched on there in blood. Quite an educated man like yourself, Hagen, you notice them as Slaneshi symbols, but not much more than that.
Someone's drawn things on the walls in blood. I'm going with
Yeah,
their
Hart,
bad
you're there
things.
as well, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'd take note in this as well. You'd know the origins of these marks.
I had been looking in the demonology book.
Yeah.
So clearly, agents of she who we shall not name have been the perpetrators of this crime.
It seems unlikely to be a frame job.
I would not think so.
I think I found the means of entrance and escape as well.
How did they get in? Or how did it get in?
In the back room, the bed covers a secret passage that goes below. As I searched for evidence yesterday, I found this. I've told no one about it, though. I think it's important that we deal with this ourselves. I trust no one.
The list of people that I trust are only those within this room and 2 others. So I'm with you. If you think that this passage will lead us to the culprit, I will go with you.
I think it'd be a bad idea to follow it to its end, but I'll show you it. Yeah, let me show you. And he sort of gets up, stumbles a little bit, and he sort of staggers over with his 2 walking sticks.
Like, I'm going to follow, but right before I follow, without looking directly at the symbol.
Yeah.
Definitely not looking at the symbol, but looking around, I'm going to use second sight to see if I can get a sense of anything magical happened here during the attack.
Okay.
It's just like perception or whatever, because there's no like skill of it. It's a talent. But...
Yeah, it's again, what's been done here is very, very wrong. It's probably the worst thing that you've seen in the name of chaos, and that's you don't feel right even being here. Yeah, you almost feel a pull from somewhere that you shouldn't go. There's definitely a law of power calling to you as you sort of reach out with your second sight.
Fun thing about second sight, you can't actually turn it off. So once you've taken the talent, it's just always there. All right, that's why I'm kind of averting my eyes from the.
Magdar goes into the room and he bends down and he pulls a stick or like a rod away from the trapdoor that goes through 2 eyes. And he lifts the door up. Gentlemen.
So this is the passage that you believe the assailant took?
What I found down there as well troubles me greatly. Yeah. Something that is rumoured to have lived in the old world for an age. I believe I've found evidence of.
And what was that, Magdar?
Let me show you. Could one of you go down, then I can lower myself down. My legs are quite badly, I mean, you remember his legs were quite badly broken.
So Hagen doesn't really completely trust Magdar either, so he turns to look at the rest of his companions. My friends, are you prepared to proceed down this path now?
Never got a chance to swing that hammer last time we were facing that thing.
True, but I don't see why Magdar couldn't describe what he found.
Said you wanted to see where it came from.
I'll be doing it manling.
All right, then. So Hagen will drop down.
Okay.
And then help Magdar down.
Okay, Hagen goes down. Magdar is holding the door up. And as soon as as soon as Hagen goes down, he slams the door shut. And with a speed quite unhuman, he sticks the pole straight through the eyes again, and then he turns and faces Carolyn.
You know that hammer I was talking about holding?
That's him.
Yeah, basically.
Seems we have come to an impasse, my friend.
I'm sorry, I'm already swinging a hammer.
Yeah, I'm already going for it.
Okay. So, this Magdar has had its turn already.
Yeah.
Have we got a quarter of an hour more, or shall we call it here?
I think now is possibly a good place to call it.
Okay. Just a quick one with Dan. So, Dan, you get to the Elven House, and it is locked, and there are no lights on.
Is there any other ways in that I can find?
The shutters downstairs have all been shut and locked.
What about those upstairs?
Windows. There are windows upstairs, but they are all shut. Although the shutters aren't closed on them.
Okay. So I'm going to bang on the door first and see if there's any noises from inside.
You hear nothing.
Okay. I'm going to try and get to a part of the building which looks easier to climb. I'm going to try and climb the building. Let's see if I can. Yes, I climbed the building.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to get up onto a balcony to the side of the building. And yeah, the door from the balcony inside is locked.
Is it glass by any chance?
No, it's wood.
Oh.
With two little diamond stained glass sort of windows in them at the top.
Do I think the door is actually locked, or is it just like there's a catch that I might be able to reach and?
There's a lock on the door, so it's probably locked.
I'm gonna start peering through the little window to see if I can see anything.
Everything's dark and there doesn't seem no movement.
This doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to me at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what else I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna kind of sit on the balcony with my back to the door, and just put my head in my hands, and just be like, "Ugh."
Okay, Roger, you're at the Sigmarite temple. Are you staying there for any reason, or?
Yeah, I'm going to ask one of the priests for a blessing of purity. given my close encounter with very bad things.
Okay. He takes you to one side and takes you up to a small altar and begins a small ritual, and it involves water and a lot of chanting and small bell ringing. Ding! Ding!
And I'm basically going to try and get some of that holy water on the tip of my finger that's gone black.
Okay. And you do, but nothing has gone away. And we shall end it with Hagen, who is down at the bottom of a small ladder in the dark. And you've got this feeling of being double-crossed again. And you're holding your temper just so you can, enough so you can get up this ladder and start swinging your hammer again. When you hear some noise from down the tunnel that you can't see down, and you hear spoke in guttural common. Night, night, kill, kill. Yes, yes. Eat, eat. And you see 3 sets of green eyes in the darkness. And as they come slowly into your eyesight, they look like 3 man-sized rat creatures. And we'll leave it there.
Damn beast men.
I nearly said beastman.
Of course, they wouldn't actually be Skaven,
Awesome.
because nobody believes in Skaven, but
I do.
But I'm sure you can.
Now he does.
So does the elf.
But I'm sure that a suitably well placed hammer blow will.
let's hope so.
Okay, so thank you for watching, everybody. We'll join you next week, hopefully, with episode 10. Double figures, yeehaw. And yeah, we'll follow more exploits of our fearless and foolish group. I've been your GM. I'm Jim. Please join us if you haven't already on Discord. Great community full of great people talking about role playing. What better thing is to talk about? And yeah, please join us next week. Thanks for tuning in. Good evening.
Night.
Thank you and good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye all.